They set sail not with missiles, not with bullets, not with armies. They set sail with bread, with medicine, with baby formula, with the stubborn conviction that conscience still has a voice in this world. 50 vessels, 443 volunteers, 47 countries, writers, doctors, athletes, journalists, ordinary people who refused to let Gaza starve unseen. And how did Israel respond? With water cannons, with sewage sprayed in their faces, with communications jammed, with illegal detention in international waters, piracy dressed up as security, 443 souls seized, shackled, taken away. Why? Because the flotilla is the bravest expression of a global solidarity movement. Israel fears it more than anything else. It fears it not for its weapons, because it has none, but for its weapon of conscience. After announcing his deal with Trump, parading Arab and Muslim rulers, many duped into providing cover, Netanyahu boasted, "Instead of isolating us, we isolated them." That has always been the formula: isolate the Palestinians, wall Gaza off, choke it into silence, pretend it doesn't exist. But the Sumud flotilla tears through that formula like a gale at sea. It declares Palestine's fate will not be written in boardrooms or by bombs. It will be written by humanity itself. And humanity has answered. From Sydney to London, from Rome to Madrid, the banners rise. Palestine will not be erased. The Sumud flotilla is not an isolated event, but the crest of a long wave. In 2008, 2 boats reached Gaza. In 2010, Israeli commandos stormed the Mavi Marmara in international waters, killing 10 activists in cold blood. In 2011, most of Freedom Flotilla 2 was blocked in Greek ports under diplomatic pressure. In 2015 and 2016, the women's boat to Gaza and Freedom Flotilla 3 were seized. In 2018, the Just Future for Palestine flotilla was intercepted. And now, in 2025, Israel has escalated to piracy from the skies. In May, the Conscience was struck by drones. In June, the Madeleine seized. In July, the Hamdallah intercepted. Not one boat has broken through in years, yet not one attempt has been silenced, because solidarity cannot be sunk. Conscience cannot be blockaded. The first idea was born in 2006. Nearly 2 decades later, what began with 2 small vessels has become a fleet of more than 50. The lesson of these 18 years is clear. The tide of defiance rises higher with every voyage and every interception. In 1947, the ship Exodus carried Holocaust survivors trying to emigrate illegally to Palestine, was turned away by the British. Zionist leaders turned that moment into theatre. They milked it, extracting sympathy from West still raw from the Holocaust. Out of that sympathy came the UN Partition Resolution, and with it, the Nakba, the catastrophe of 1948. Today, Israel's genocide, ethnic cleansing and arrogance has created a mirror image, but this time the sympathy flows not to the colonizer but to the colonized. The solidarity is fierce, vast, global, seeking to correct the injustice of 1947 and 1948. If Exodus 1947 paved the way for Israel, then Exodus 2025, the Sumud flotilla, marks the world rising to undo the wrong and restore justice to Palestine after more than a century of dispossession. That is what terrifies Netanyahu, the sight of unarmed civilians wielding more power than his army and his drones, because this flotilla carries the weight of humanity, unarmed, unyielding, undeniable, a force no navy can sink and no drone can silence, and it punctures the facade of lies. Yes, Israel starves Gaza. Yes, Israel bombs civilians. And yes, Israel fears nothing more than its own reflection. Before the interception, activist Sana Polat sent her last message from the flotilla. She says, "If Gaza is not free, no one is free, because Gaza is the only place in the world that does not bow to the imperialist Zionist order. No one is Gaza's hero. Gaza is its own hero. Gaza is the hero of all of us. If Gaza exists, there is awakening. If Gaza exists, there is liberation. Salam to Gaza. Salam to all the sad eyes. Salam to the people resisting with dignity. Salam to Rafah, to Beit Lahia, to Deir al-Balah, to Al-Maghazi, to every shore that refuses to bow." Her words echo the very heart of the flotilla. not governments, not rulers, but people carrying the voice of humanity across the sea. People like Tiago Avila from Brazil, Mandela from South Africa, Greta Thunberg from Sweden, and their brave comrades from every continent. They are closer to Gaza than the Arab and Muslim rulers who betrayed it. Because Palestine is not the cause of calculating governments. It is the cause of the people against the greed, the deceit, the ugliness of the powerful. The world has chosen. Palestine is not alone. Palestine will never be alone. And the sea itself has spoken. No army, no blockade, no superpower can hold back the tide of justice.